Hi everyone. So I'm very excited to share with you what I've been working on, but first I have something I need to talk about. My challenge giveaway, besides me forgetting to say a bunch of stuff, I was just informed that YouTube has taken away the video response option. So you obviously can't link a video to my video, but what I'm going to ask you to do is when you make a video response, you film your video showing what you have created, just send me a private message with the link to your video in it, and I will watch it and leave a comment, and then I'll also put your video link in the description to my original challenge giveaway video. And also another thing that I wanted to point out is that you don't have to share my store on Facebook. I said any social networking site, and I did say in the video, if you're like me and you're not really much into social networking, then you could do YouTube. So anyways, so I just wanted to just say that real quick. I was quite stunned when I couldn't leave a video response earlier today. I didn't know what I had done to my computer. But anyways, so I've been working on a bunch of projects. It's taken me quite some time to get done with them. I have this book. This is the book, Have a Cool Yule, by Will Bullis. I got this from my auntie, from one of my aunts on my dad's side. And seeing how I'm not welcome in the family on my dad's side, I didn't really feel the need to keep this book anymore. But I really like the pictures that were in it. There was a lot of gorgeous watercolor prints, of the watercolor paintings that this guy had done, and he made a book of them. So I didn't want to throw away the book, but I obviously didn't want to keep it because someone who didn't want me a part of their family anymore gave it to me. So, I came up with the idea, or I thought of the idea, to turn the pictures into ornaments and wall hangings. And this is going to be a long video, I apologize, but I kind of wanted to explain the process of it, because it's, I don't know, I guess it's not the most self-explanatory thing. Like, a lot of things that are done crafting wise are pretty self-explanatory, and I figured it might help if I explained what I did. So I'm just gonna start off with one. So this is an ornament that I did, and this is one of the pictures from the book. And what I did was I cut out the picture. I roughly cut the picture. I cut the picture much bigger than I actually wanted it to be, and it had the white border page around it. And I Mod Podged it to some cardboard, and I had painted the cardboard black on one side, and then to the unpainted side is what I glued the image with, and I glued the image on with Mod Podge because it was so loose. And then I let that dry, and then I trimmed it to the size that I wanted the picture to be, and then I took glossy Mod Podge and I did an extremely heavy coat of glossy Mod Podge on the top. And maybe I'm just losing my mind, but when I've done the gingerbread light bulb ornaments in the past and I've used glossy Mod Podge on them, for some reason when I tried to do a second coat of glossy Mod Podge over the first coat after it dried. It came out looking kind of wonky. So whenever I use glossy Mod Podge, I only do one coat. And maybe I'm just delusional, that's a possibility also. But I did a very, very heavy coat of the glossy Mod Podge, you know, brushed it on. And there was enough, you know, the layer of Mod Podge was thick enough that it kind of seeped over the sides and it sealed that picture in. And then what I did was I took some tongue depressors, because I had about 1,000 tongue depressors, and I stained them first because they were just, you know, the natural pine color. And the stain that I used was Bavarian Oak by Behr, and it's just the color stain I had, and I really love how it turned out. And I stained it on both sides, because tongue depressors aren't always perfect, and they're kind of, a few of them are kind of curved and all wonky, so I'm never sure which side I'm going to end up using. And then once I finished staining the tongue depressors, then I lined them all up in a row, big enough. I used as many tongue depressors as I needed to do a complete, so that when I put the picture on the tongue depressors were coming out further than the picture, if you can understand where I'm getting at. And the reason why I painted the one side of the cardboard black is because, like I said, not all the tongue depressors are perfect, and some of them have these gaps. So I didn't want the color of ugly cardboard showing through. And so this way, if there are gaps in the tongue depressors, all you see is black. So I lined up all the tongue depressors, and then I took Aleene's original tacky glue, and I did an extremely heavy coat on the back of the picture, and then I squeegeed it with my finger. And you want a very thick coat of the tacky glue. And then I put the picture down on top of the tongue depressors, and you can kind of move the tongue depressors around after you've set the picture down, if they've gotten jostled around a bit and aren't, you know, quite even up next to each other. And then I weighted the picture down after I had put the glued picture onto the tongue depressors. And I used one of my photo albums. It's a really big, heavy photo album to weigh it down. I was using my jars of beads, but what I noticed is that the jars often had printing on the bottom, and it was leaving indents in the Mod Podge, so that's a bad idea. And then after everything was dry, and the reason why you want to weight it down is because the pictures have a tendency to bow, you know, when they're soaking up the moisture from the glue. After everything's dried, then I just took a pair of scissors and cut off whatever excess I wanted, and I left a border all the way around the picture. You know, I left some edging to the tongue depressor, like 1/4 of an inch from the picture, because I wanted to glue whatever border I was using onto the tongue depressor part, so I wasn't covering up the picture too much. And the border I used on most of the ornaments and wall hangings was cinnamon sticks. I had gotten a whole bunch of like 12-inch long cinnamon sticks free from the antique store I used to go to. So that's what I bordered most of what I made with. And for this one, I had wrapped I twisted some little bells on some scrap wire that I had, and put that on the top and the bottom. And then this flower that I made, I used the Tattered Florals die, and I cut out the flowers from these leaves that Shay had given me. Shay had given me a few Christmas sprays or picks, and there was some velvety leaves and some sparkly leaves, and that's what I, you know, cut out. That's the material I used to cut out the flowers. So this is the first one, and I actually made this one for my friend Bonnie. I thought there was a phrase underneath each of the photos, and I was actually gonna glue the phrase that went to this picture on here because I thought it was so funny, but I lost it. I don't know where it flew to, but the phrase underneath this picture said "jingle this," and I just thought it was really funny. Okay, so this is the next one, and this is a wall hang. I just coiled some wire to give it more of a primitive look, and there's cinnamon sticks on the border, and I made this one for Leslie, and these were snowflake ornaments that Bonnie had given me. I really love them, and I knew I really wanted to use the snowflakes on these projects, or at least one of them. 2 bears underneath the mistletoe. So this one I made for Shay. And Shay had given me these faux millet sprays, and I just thought they were so sparkly and pretty. And this is one of my favorite colors too. It's why the color kind of reminds me of my dog Amber, and I named my dog Amber because she reminded me of the amber stone. She's just got really beautiful red and cinnamon colored fur. So I glued that around 3 sides of the picture, and then I had some sprays of cranberries, and I just cut each cranberry off and glued it on. And I picked this one for you, Shay, because of the stuffed mouse, and I know Zadosh loves stuffed mice, so figured that one would be suitable for you. And this one's a wall hanging. Okay. So this one is for Diana, and this is a wall hanging. And then that flower that I used on Bonnie's ornament was just a leftover from when I did this project. I had too many flowers, and there was on the same spray as these velvety flowers, there's these plainer, just run-of-the-mill leaves, and I glued those onto as like a base, and then I glued on the flowers. And I wasn't too sure of the flowers after I got done with this. I kind of let down my confined creativity box, and you know, went willy-nilly, and I wasn't too sure about it, but the velvety flowers are growing on me. That one's for you, Diana. This pug. That one. Okay, so here's an ornament. And this came from some more sparkly spray that Shay sent me. She sent me a big bag of it. And then I had a whole bunch of Christmas sprays that I got from Bargain World like a couple years ago. And this ribbon actually came from a door handle Christmas bell dangle thing box. I'm always upcycling. I don't throw anything away. So that's the lit up duck. And woo! Okay, I guess I'll do this one next. This is the first one I did. I used some more of the faux millet spray. This is an ornament. I just love this image. I think geese are beautiful to begin with. I just think it's so cute with the little reindeer antlers on them. And here's the next one. I used some snow tacks and some candy cane wires that I got from the Old Time 5 and Dime. Oh, the freaking glue strands. Okay. Here's the 4 calling birds. I think this one's cute. And then I had some little red flowers, just glued them on randomly with some leaves. This is one of the last ones I did. I did so many of them. And I knew I didn't want to do any two alike, so I was really scrambling to find some different ideas to do. Here's the Christmas pudding. This one's a wall hanging. It's glued on some holly leaves and berries. And then this bow is from the door handle hanger with the bells that broke. And I saved the bow. Just glued a button on there. A couple of these are still kind of damp, so I'm going to do the damp ones last. So here's an ornament. I used the faux millet spray again. And then this was a little present that I had, a little foam present. I think this one's so adorable. He seemed to really like frogs and moose and ducks and geese and polar bears. He also liked pigs a lot, but his watercolor paintings of the pigs kind of creep me out. I adore pigs. I think pigs are really cute and sweet, but the paintings of pigs that he did kind of reminded me of like slaughterhouse pigs after they've been, killed. They just creep me out. So I didn't, I chose not to do any ornaments and wall hangings of the pigs. And then this one was a strand of lights necklace that Shay gave me. This is an ornament. A lot of the ornaments, the scrap ribbon, came from Bonnie also. Santa duck tangled in lights. This one's a wall hanging. Holly leaves and berries, and it's a moose with mistletoes hanging from his antlers. My mom seems to really like this one, so I think I'm going to give it to her for her birthday or something. And we'll most likely, unless our family kicks us out of here, we'll most likely be living here through Christmas, so it's really too small to be having a tree and stuff here, so we'll just have a couple Christmas decorations. But I really do like this one. I think this one's cute. Here's another moose. He's got little Santa hats on his antler spikes. And I did the holly leaves and berries. And then these were some velvet bows that were on the Christmas picks. And I just cut them off. And then these little metal presents were from the little metal charms pack that I got from yesterday's general store. And I figured, since how he was Santa Moose, I should have presents on here. And then here's the frog horn. This was a pine spray with some gold berries. Glued that on the corner, some tinsel, snow text. Oh, this one was cute. I wish the background wasn't white. I don't like the white background, but okay, so here's some penguins putting a star on the tree. This one's a wall hanging. Apparently I don't know how to say that word. I glued this pin on that I got from Shay on there, and then I just built up the snow text. Okay, so here's the next one. Now, I ran out of cinnamon sticks. I have a lot of cinnamon sticks. And, you know, I really don't go shopping much anymore. You know, I think I went to Joann's last month and I bought one thing. So, I don't know, I just haven't been feeling like shopping lately, and we have to travel so far just to go shopping. It's like not even worth it. So, I really didn't feel like hunting down more cinnamon sticks, and let alone spending money. So what I did was I cut some tongue depressors in half and then cut them into pieces and then glued them down so they were like planks. And then I took a silver jelly pen, and it doesn't look like it wants to focus. I don't know. You guys can see the little silver dots. But I just put a silver dot on each end of each wood piece so that it looked like they were nailed in. And this just has holly leaves and berries, and it's an ornament. Then here's the next one. I did the same thing, but this since it was a larger picture, I did 2 layers of the wood pieces. And then there's snow text. Then these were snowflake charms I got off a bracelet that I got from Shay. And I just cut the little ring off, you know, the little loop. And this is a wall hanging. And then here's the last one. I'm quite proud of this one. This one I just did just long, you know, I didn't cut the tongue depressors apart. I just made it so it looked like just big boards that were nailed on there. And this frog came off the title page. So, you know, it had the title and the author and all that, and all the other wordage all around the frog. And so I knew I couldn't, you know, use the, you know, cut out like a rectangle picture like the rest of them are. So what I did was I just cut out the frog with a pair of scissors, and I used the X-Acto knife to get in between his legs. and I glued him onto a piece of scrapbook paper, and then I, you know, did what I did with the rest of them with the cardboard and the glossy Mod Podge and everything. Glued the tongue depressors on there, slathered on the last of my Snow Tex, glued on the last of my light bulb necklace, and in the picture he was hanging on to a strand of lights, but I didn't feel like cutting out the very narrow strand of lights, so I just, you know, glued a real strand of lights on there. And then I put a little 2mm pom-pom on his hat. And that's a wall hanging. So that's all the projects I've been working on. They took a lot of time. I don't recommend, or at least I don't heat set my glue or my Mod Podge, because if it bubbles, especially with the Mod Podge, it's gonna be ruined. So you know, I had to let everything dry on its own, which took some time, and there was a lot of steps to doing this, but it was a lot of fun, and I feel good that I got some use out of that book and its beautiful pictures, and made some really pretty Christmas decorations. And I was really happy I got to use those cinnamon sticks I've been holding on to, and also you know, all the Christmas sprays or picks that I have. So besides the ones that I created for my friends, the rest will be going to with my mother. She wants to do a bazaar that we used to do every year, but I told her that she was on her own with that, because the bazaar is where we used to live, which is over 2 hours away. I told her that we cannot leave the dogs for 12 hours, you know, for 2 days. 2 days in a row. That was just not gonna happen. Especially with, you know, I wouldn't ask any of the dogs to hold their bladder more than 8 hours, but especially with my dog Amber, she has incontinence problems, so it really isn't a good thing to leave her for long periods of time. So anyways, that would be my projects. I hope you like them. Maybe you've got a picture book that you've been holding on to for the pictures and don't know what to do with the, you know, the book itself. But I have a lot of fun with these, and I'll probably do them in all kinds of holidays now, just because I had so much fun with them. So anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.